So the first thing we do, I'm going to say some stuff again. The first thing we do is we set up our character so that she has 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. If the right foot is forward, the left arm sorry, it's opposite. So that the left arm is, stop it. The left arm, there it is forward. And if the left leg is back, so is the right arm. I did it backwards, sorry. So it's always opposite. The left arm comes forward with the right leg, and the right leg comes forward with the left leg comes forward with the right arm. And then the hips, once again, rotate towards the leading foot. But we want to keep the top of her body leading with the arm that's out. And if you go to a front view, I can look at this. The head maintains a forward trajectory. And I'm going to move her feet closer because this is a really wide stance. This is if she was like a woman trying to walk like a man and trying to be funny is how this would come off looking. Like, oh, look at I'm walking like a dude. So there's our first pose. I'm going to go to a right view so I can see what the heck is going on. We're making a cycle, yeah. We're not moving in space yet. Well, I mean, this is the pose we're starting from. Oh, you mean from a standing pose or something? No, we're not going to do from a standing pose. And you kind of want, it's very good to look at this at a right view because you want everything sort of um, matchy, right? This arm needs to go forward as much as this one comes back. So these distances should be similar. The distance from her butt to her arm and her butt to this arm. The legs should be, if you draw a line down the middle, the legs should be equally far back as they are front. All right, I'm going to hit S on frame 1. I've got 60 frames here. I really only want 30. I'm going to go to the very end of our animation and hit S again. So now I have keys. I have keys. I have no keys set. Hold on. Come on. Work with me here. Oh, I uploaded a new model, didn't I? There we go. So you have to select everything and set a key on frame 1 or else it won't let you select any other frames. Also be sure that you have auto key on because that'll become important. All right, so now in a right view, right, we're going to reverse our character's pose. Is everybody okay with their pose? Everybody got something going on? Am I okay to move forward? Anybody need more time? Great. All right, frame 15. I'm going to hit keyframes, all the frames there. And then I'm going to take this foot and match it to this other foot here. That's oops, and I totally forgot. I need to do you have to do the hips first. Well, you don't have to do the hips first. Now the hips are moving with this. All right, so if the red foot's moving backwards, the blue foot's moving forward. So on 15, we move this foot over here and rotate it so the heel's up, because this is just before she's about ready to hit. And I'm going to rotate the toe back down so it's flush with the mover thing. And look, it's walking. It's walking already. Oh my God, that's incredible. How did you only do that with only 3 keys? I don't know. Right, I want to have a look at this in the front view. Kind of looks weird, so I'm going to copy, readjust it, and then copy paste it. And then on frame 15, I'm going to adjust it again. And don't worry, I go back and forth all the time, copying and pasting frames from the first one to the last one. Like it's something that you'll just do a lot, making a cycle. You're like, okay, I need that one to be the same as my adjustment just was. So there. Copy. Actually, I want to copy this one. Paste that way. Copying the last one to the front one. And here on 15, I want it a little more over here. Great. Okay, so now we have, oh, we didn't do the arms. So we got to fix the arms so that they change. This arm needs to go forward. This arm needs to come back. Her body needs to twist the opposite direction. And you can already see that this is what her walk is kind of going to look like. Great. So these are the major keys that we're going to be using, 1, 15, and 30. And this one should be exactly the same. So go ahead and hit File, save that. File, save scene as walk. And then let's see in the module what the next one is. So we have this one and this one, right? This is, try to make this smaller. So this is frame 1 here, and this is frame 15 here. So halfway between frame 15, frame 1 and 15, we need this pose where she's really, it goes super high, and the planted foot, in this case it'll be the right foot, is on the ground, and the other foot is in a passing position. So we'll go to frame 7, which is the halfway point for that. And we'll set keys on everything. And it's the red foot that we need to deal with. Comes all the way down. This one goes up. Looks like that. Go to a front view. We need to get the weight over the planted leg. We can bring this one over a little bit. Rotate the arm out of the body. Probably this side too. And we can kick our hips up a little bit. Draw a line down from here up through her middle, and it looks like our weight is okay. Anybody have any questions on that so far, the passing frame? Great. You guys done this before? How was that? Was it? Yeah, am I teaching it the same way, or did they teach it differently? Oh, that's hard to do. Um, yeah, this is much easier because you can balance, you can see your keys, right? You can see exactly where everything is supposed to be. Whereas when it's moving through space, you're like, wait, does that match the one that we had before with the thing and the stuff? It's interesting that they would. Uh-huh. Oh, you can see that in here, by the way. Maya has that function. You don't need a plugin. Oh, interesting. Do, do. Yeah, I don't use ghosting. So just so you guys know, if you go to animation, right, and you go visualize, you can do ghost, unghost. The one I use all the time is create an editable motion trail. So for instance, I'll select this object here, right? And then I'll go visualize, create an editable motion trail. And it'll show me exactly where the arcs are on that foot. And I'll know uh, how to fix it. Like, oh, when it comes up here, it doesn't go out far enough. This needs to be a rounder shape on this arc. So I can select this and then move it here. And it adds a key to it. Come on. Oh, did I grab the wrong foot and do it with it? Hold on. Yeah. Let me do it with the foot I actually had selected. So if I grab the foot and say, oh, it needs to come out more here, there it goes. And then I can just go in here and go, okay, that's too high. That's not far enough out. This one should be a little bit lower. This one needs to dip, and I need something here so that make this, because I'm trying to make a circle here, because the circle is this very smooth operating object. So when you need to dial in stuff, that's a very good one to have. And then these are, you can just select them and delete them. Doink. They're just references, but they allow you to animate them on the spot. All right. So I'm getting off my line with this foot here with all this hip movement. She's got quite a bit of hip movement to her. So, like I said before, this isn't something I do with every model, but this one's kind of a pain in the neck. I'm going to put a box under each foot so that I know where they are, so that I can track this this foot over time. So like there's 7, it's over a little tiny bit. There's 15, it's way over. There's 22. 19 is the fake one that I made. Thank you for creating a play blast. And then I can do the same with this one. Right? There's 1 is fine. 7 is a little over too much. 15 is over that way too much. 22 is good. 30 is good. Yeah, I went big on the hip sway. Sorry about that. I can rein that in a little bit. That's a little too far. And see her feet stay the same place while I'm moving her hips around. Thank you, IK. Seven is there. That seems a little better. So I'm just looking at this kind of with a blurry eye to make sure that it's walking okay. I do a front check. Now the one thing that's happening here, right, is that our passing frame 7 and 22 are supposed to be higher up than 15, 1, and 30. So I'm going to go in here to frame 1 and lower this just a bit so that her knees are kind of more bendy. And I'm going to copy that and paste it here. And then on frame 15, I'm also going to lower it down just a little bit. And that way, oh, and I never set one here. You get up. So you don't want to hyperextend her knee. Uh, with IK, you never want to go to the fullest extent of its IK-ness. So I like coming here and seeing where it stops and then backing off just a little bit. And now you can see that kind of little hop that is supposed to be happening. God, her arms look weird with her fingers and stuff. Great. All right, so we have our three main keyframes, and then we have our pass-through frames, 7 and 22, 7 and 22. And so now we need to do the in-betweens for those. So you can see here the in-between right after frame 1 at frame like 4 or 5 or something is this squashy frame. And then the frame after frame 7 on frame 12 is this kind of launch frame where the toe is expanded and the body's at its apex before it comes down. So the reason we do this frame, and it's best in a right view, um, is to give her a little bit of weight. This is the frame where um, you can show her muscles are kind of catching. So you can see how like, oh, okay. She does have weight. She compresses that leg. This joint bends a little bit, right? It goes from being kind of straight there to being bent there. And that's what you want to show that's how you show weight in a character by compressing it and by changing the angle of the legs and stuff, you're showing weight, and then by expanding it out, you're showing self-propulsion. And it's all just in shapes. Okay, so we did 4 there, so 15 here, 19 here. Really, was it 4? All right. I'm going to do 18 with this particular character and this particular animation. You'll find that different characters have different places in their walk cycles that they like to be. All this stuff is the same across any model you'd animate, but like this sort of stuff, like where how the character bends, these frames here kind of can slide one frame or the other in either direction. These ones, boom, 1, 15, 30, they can't slide. 7 and 22, they can't slide. But these ones, the squish frames, they can slide a little bit depending on how the model starts looking. So now if I start walking her, you can see it has a little bit of weight and it's popping up like that. So now we go up here to, let's say 11. I'll split these two. And all we're going to do here is raise her up a little tiny bit. So we have a very straight leg here, and we're not going to touch this other leg. And then over here too. 22's that part there, so like 26 maybe. We would just raise that up a little bit. Oh, and it's a very cartoony walk, but there you go. Lots of bounce. And so starting here at the hips, we're going to go, we can do the visualize thing actually. We can see what it looks like. Go create an editable motion trail. And we can look at how the keys match up. There's 1, there's 15, there's 30, exactly the same. There's 4, and so the counterpart to 4 is 18, which is a little higher up. So we can take 4 and move it up so it matches 18, or take 18 and move it down so it matches 4. So I'm just going to move it up. Then we want to go look at frame 7. Oh, there's 7, sorry, 7 and 22 are the same. 11 is there, and 18 is there. So that's 15 there. And there's 1. Oh, 15's a little high too. Move 15 down. And 11 is up there. And where's 26? It's down there. I'm going to move 11 down. So now you see all these animations are moving. And we could have done that in the graph editor, by the way, but it's more fun to do it this way. So now we're getting a very sort of mechanical but slightly perfect walk, right? Everything is exactly pulled how it should be. So to look at this in the graph editor, let's look at the hip rotation information in the, oh, here we can look at it here. You can see I'm pulling a little bit to this side. I can just drag these back so that they kind of match a little better. Hi, Puka. And as long as you're making good choices as far as angles go, and I am not making good choices with the arms at all. I'm going to delete these middle frames off and I'll put them back on, but later, but they're really bugging me. Arms look horrible. And that's fine. Thank you for auto-saving right in the middle of a function. Okay, that's much better. That other way was a little distracting. All right, so that's the base, that's our foundation of the walk. And you can see where the keys are there. We did our main keys, we did our splits, and then we did our in-betweens on the splits, or the passing through game things. And now with this kind of walk, we can go in and start giving it attitude. Do, 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 do. Yeah, because there's no head tilts or anything fun on this at all. But it's super important to get this part done so that you can move on to the other things. So I'm going to now save this one as a walk underscore Z. And I know that it's mathematically pretty darn good. Oh, I wanted to take a look at in the curve editor just to show you guys the graph editor. So if we just look at these, the translation and the Y, this is what we got going on. Do-do, do-do, do-do. That's her upward movement. She has no Z movement, and this is her X movement. If we really wanted to balance these keys out, which is totally fine to do, we can kind of do that, and we can go into translate here. Like we don't need that one, and we probably get rid of that one, but then we'd have to fix it there. I'm just going to leave that in there because it gives that curve. But we're trying to make a perfect wave sign here, and they're looking pretty good. That's okay. That's okay. This we don't need anything. And when I start deleting these things, you'll see it doesn't do much to anything. And remember, I'm only touching the main hip object there. So let's look at rotation, no rotation. That's good there, don't need that one. And this one here. And that's called cleaning your curves. So once again, the different ways of doing that are using the different ways to make sure that your animation is totally balanced is using the motion trails, these things here, using the function curves, and then just visually looking at it and making sure that what one foot is doing, the other foot is also doing. And we can go in and do the same thing here. Uh-huh. Weird. Do you have something beyond your range again? Like, I think that's just your playback. Yeah. Oh, I think it's just your computer takes a little while to reload the animation from the beginning and play it back again. Enough where there's a visual system there. If you do a play blast and look at it, it should show you what the animation really looks like, and you should look at it in a right view, not a three-quarter view, so you can actually tell. Cool. All right, so save your files there. And then in a game, we would have to know what this distance is in order to make it work, in order to be able to tell the engine programmer um, how to, where to, how to, whatchamacallit, I can't talk, how much distance to make her cover when she walks. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to go, okay, there's her heel and there's her toe. So the distance, um, over 30 frames, the distance she's able to travel is this distance here, from here to here. And you can get out of one of the measuring tools. I forget where they are, but there's like measuring tools in here, and measure from here to here. And that'll give you the distance. Or you can create another box and put it here, and then go modify freeze transformations, and then move it over here. And then if you look in the channel editor, you'll notice that it is 0.76, it's 76.634 units, or probably more like 77 units of travel per step. Just a neat little trick. The other thing we can do is, what did I say it was, 77? You need a pencil. Oh, hold on, let me